Welcome, this is Shakti, Carola Neverin, your host for today. I am an online astrologer because I live on Maui in Hawaii on this tiny little island, which means that I probably do 80% of my work online with the videos. I do online counseling through Skype, which is actually a lot of fun. So I have been an astrologer for many, many years. And for me, astrology has become a wisdom path, a path of inquiry, of self-realization, to deepen my awareness of who I am, who I truly am from the level of my soul. And I do believe that we're all souls in many, many different incarnations and bodies on that ever-deepening journey of evolving in consciousness, of finding that place of oneness, of connection, of compassion and loving kindness towards all other beings. Astrology is a very ancient and complex system of divination. Astrology uses archetypes and symbols to take a deeper look at our reality in order to navigate the challenges of life more successfully. Astrology is very complex and offers so many possibilities that we can read on very different levels of depth and insight it can provide. On the most superficial level, it gives us a cartoon-like description. So everybody who has ever read a sun sign column in a newspaper, you know what I mean. This might be the reason why everybody knows their sun sign. Everybody knows if they're Leo or a Virgo or a Cancer or whatever. Because even on this very superficial level, we can find some resonance and some truth in it. So some people told me my forecast videos should be shorter than the 20 minutes I usually end up with. But here's my dilemma. If I get too short, I will lean too much towards the cartoon version of astrology. Not that it's really wrong, but because I know there's so many more satisfying dimensions and answers astrology can provide us, that I decided I'd rather lose some of you than doing a less than good job. So sorry. I'm also a little bit ambitious to teach you about astrology and take you on an ever-deepening journey yourself. Each month by sensitizing you to the astrological forces surrounding you. And of course, I want to inspire you to go deeper and take full advantage of what astrology really has to offer, especially in a personal reading and the application for us as an individual. So I hope you will enjoy my PowerPoint presentation I prepared for you, which is about the sun moving into Libra and the autumn equinox this month. So as usual, make sure you hang in there till the end when I get to the very practical suggestions and applications. And I see you over there. Welcome over here to my PowerPoint presentation. So as you might know or not, I'm what we call an evolutionary astrologer, what means that I look at your chart or through the lens of astrology from the perspective of the soul and the evolution of your soul. I'm also a published author with Llewellyn, and my book is actually an introduction into astrology and then how the remedy of gemstones and the specific frequency of gemstones can help you to balance inner aspects in your chart. And of course, planets are representing inner aspects of your personality. So you can support areas of yourself with the right gems. So if you're interested in that, have a look. I also like to look at the coming months, starting when the sun moving into the next sign, which will be September 22nd, when the sun is moving into Libra at 1:44 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we will look at the highlights of what to expect this month, so you can get prepared. So specifically, this one is very interesting because when the sun is moving into Libra, it also is one of the four corner points of the year, the autumnal equinox. So we will also talk about Saturn and Venus, which are conjoining the North Node and what that means, which is happening September 18th. We will talk about Pluto going direct September 20th. And we will talk briefly about the new moon in Virgo, September 5th, and the full moon in Pisces, September 19th. But for both the new moon and the full moon, you can listen or watch the more in-depth video I have done about those two. The art of astrology. When we work with astrology, we work with archetypes and symbols, symbolizing the planetary forces, the zodiac signs, and they can be expressed in higher or lower manifestations. So they're holding a potential of a whole variety of possibilities, how they might express their energies. And the deciding factor, like in our personal chart, how those potential hold by the archetypes will express themselves, has to do with our state of consciousness. So my aim with doing these forecast readings is to give you a higher perspective into what to expect, so you have a chance to guide those energies, those creative celestial forces, into the direction you want to go. The autumn equinox happens September 22nd, the day when the sun enters the next sign Libra. And it's one of the four corner points of the year. We have two equinoxes, we have two solstices, symbolizing a change in the unfolding of the year. So here, for the Western Hemisphere, it shows us the end of summer, and the length of the day equals the length of the night. With the sun moving into Libra, I want to talk about the Libra personality with you today. So Libra is ruled by Venus, the goddess of love, harmony, and beauty. So Libra wants to feel connected from the heart. Libra needs balance. The Libra personality has a lot to do with learning about appreciating beauty, aesthetics, and the power of love. Libra is the sign in the zodiac which holds the archetype of the lover, the longing of the heart to find that other, that mate of our heart, the one who complements us. So that's why Libras are so oriented towards relationships. This is what they want, this is what they need, this is what they long for. So then the other dimension of Libra has to do with being an artist, being open and sensitive and inspired to bring in and awake others to the beauty of the world. And then there's another aspect of Libra which is depicted by the judging scales. So the intention of Libra is always to kind of find those scales in balance, but in real life it's often not. So it's either one side up or the other. So the judging scales kind of point us in the direction of finding ways to learn about that balance. So to be discriminating and sensitive enough to find that harmony, to find that peace. So with the Saturn and Venus conjunction, Venus as the ruler of Libra, which is so in the foreground this month, will be challenged with the Saturn conjunction. So, and on top of that, they join the North Node in Scorpio, so there's quite some intensity going on here. And it's happening just the day before the full moon, so all those energies kind of bleed together. So, putting it shortly, it means that relationships will be challenged. So they will be in the forefront of our attention. And it's all about truth and honesty, and to learn how to really experience compassion and unconditional love. So this is kind of the journey. Pluto has been retrograde and will be turning direct September 20th at 8 degrees Capricorn, and that's a big deal because Pluto has been revisiting degrees in Capricorn, deepening our assimilation of what Pluto in Capricorn wants us to integrate and learn. And Lord Pluto is the god of the underworld, the hell realms. It's about death and rebirth. So generally, transformation in all areas, especially in our economy. So when Pluto actually entered Capricorn, this was when the stock market melted down first. So Pluto is a big deal, and he confronts us with unconscious structures, areas, fears inside of ourselves or outside in our life, and then we have to deal with it. But as all the planets, there's always a higher road to integrate those principles, and the high potential of Pluto is the phoenix out of ashes. And the story goes that the old eagle threw himself into the fire, and the newborn young phoenix flew out of, renewed out of the ashes, out of the fire. So this is kind of the process we all have to go through in some areas of our life, depending where Pluto in which house is in our natal chart, in our birth chart, and how it will connect with planets through aspects. So for some people, Pluto plays a very big role because of its aspects, and for others, it's not as much in the foreground. But I would say we all are, as a society, really called out by God Pluto to transform, to move to those higher levels of being. New moon in Virgo. As you might know, a new moon is always looked at as a new start into a new round of emotional consciousness or maturity. And the area we are asked to mature in is symbolized by the sign of the new moon. So this is what I'd suggest for you to ride the wave with Virgo projects connected to the new moon in Virgo. So Virgo is closely connected with values of order, organization, to be of service to the bigger good, and therefore you would benefit this month to have a special project. Maybe you need to clean out your garage, your closet, your car from the inside, things like that, or any other area in your life which needs some special attention. Remember, Virgo is able to focus on details, to put things in order in a conscious way. Another field of Virgo is that Virgos like to be useful, and they thrive when they can be of service for others. So this is a month to start volunteering in your community, finding a place where you can do something which goes beyond your own personal needs. And if you want to have more love in your life, go out and give love and be loving, and you will be surprised how that flows back to you. Also, it is a month for health and well-being and self-care. So everything what has to do with becoming more self-conscious around diet. I mean, I'm not talking about dieting, but healthy diet. Everything what helps you with feeling good about yourself. So you could go out and have a massage, facial, things like that. And then we will have the full moon in Pisces, September 19th. What has started with the new moon in Virgo is then culminating with the full moon in Pisces. So the full moon is when our consciousness, our awareness is kind of very connected with our inner world, with our emotions. So with the full moon in Pisces, it's really about the integration of the physical, which started with the Virgo, here with the non-physical dimensions represented by Pisces. So the rational with the spiritual, more intuitive perception of life. This is the balancing act we're doing, which works really well with the Sun in Libra, because there it's all about balancing. So here the balancing wants to happen between the left and the right brain, the rational and the spiritual dimensions of life. So this is your chance of higher wisdom to have a new deepened perspective through the eyes of oneness and compassion. So Pisces is really the unconditional lover, because it comes from that perspective of oneness. And then we come to the Libra projects, how you can use the Sun in Libra energies. So first of all, I would suggest to really make time for your family, for your loved ones, for your friends, and make sure you spend quality time. Really tell them how you appreciate them. Another Libra project is to deepen your connection to the arts, to your own creativity. So you could do that by signing up for an art class, to be playful, to play with colors, to be courageous and putting something on the empty canvas. Another Libra project I'm suggesting has to do with your relationship and the possibility of deepening your intimacy this month. So remember, we talked about Saturn-Venus conjunction. So Venus is kind of a little bit challenged here this month, but you can use that energy and that focus to work on your relationship and to come out at the other end with a more intimate connection. And one way to do that is what we call sacred loving, which kind of encompasses the whole area of sexual connection, of sensual connection. And this is a month for yourself to challenge yourself a little bit there, to be very truthful in your needs and what you would like, and to discover new horizons. Maybe you go and do a tantra workshop with your beloved, or get an audio program, or watch a video introduction into sacred loving. So yeah, you have the celestial wave in your back for this month to really achieve a deepened connection, a deepened loving connection with your partner. No relationship? Okay, so then I would suggest make a list. I've made many lists throughout my life, and I always found it really fun, but there's also more to that. It's really kind of magical. So you want to make a list of that future mate, of your lover you're calling to yourself. And yeah, I don't think it's too important to be specific about hair color and eye color and stuff like that, but you want to be very specific about the qualities and the values you want your mate to hold. And of course, the list always depends on what we don't want and where we're coming from and what our experiences have been. And whenever we have a chance to make another list, it's usually much more specific and on a higher level than it was the last time around. So make sure you really take your time and think this out, because when I happen to look back at my lists when I left Germany, I looked through all my journals before I threw them out, and I was kind of amazed how the things I have written down really have manifested with my next partner. So have fun with this. So go make your list. Enjoy the energies you want to integrate. So we have a lot of Libra, a lot of Venusian energies this month, where it's all about the heart and your connection and your ability to love and be loved. We have the Virgo energies, where it's all about the sense for the detail, all about finding out who you can be in service and helping others. And then we have the Piscean full moon energies, where it's all about the integration of the divine dimension, the spiritual dimension into our life. If you like to keep informed about my forecast, if you like my astrology, please subscribe under the video. You can also go to my website and sign up for my newsletters, and there you will get a free report for your love stone based on your astrology and your Venus position in your birth chart, which might be fun for you. So also when you're on my newsletter list, you get some other information, like when I will start my beginner class for astrology and things like that. So if you liked this, please like me. Leave me a comment. I always get back to you, and it also helps with ranking on YouTube. So please support me that way. If you're interested in my online readings, I do through Skype, wherever you are on the planet, which is actually a lot of fun. You can call me in Hawaii, 808-878-8182, or head over to my website, mauiastrologyreading.com. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I hope you enjoyed. And as we say on Maui, aloha.